By the look of it, this little fire here, look, it'll probably burn itself out once it's finished with that bush there. And just entering Gun Point, north of Darwin. This is a free camp, by the way, on the beach. Supposedly you're not allowed to camp on the beach. It has to be off the beach and the grassed areas. There's absolutely no amenities here at all, so being self-sufficient certainly helps. The road in is, look, it's a bit gnarly in places. I don't know how you go in the wet season here. I'm thinking that you probably might not get in. But there are caravans down here, so you can get in. 2-wheel drive probably. I'm in 4-wheel drive, just to be on the safe side, because you can drive on the beach here as well. And it's fairly large. The stretch of beach in Camp Pod probably goes for a couple of kilometres. So there's a Gun Point south and a Gun Point north. I'm heading up to the north end at the moment, not for any particular reason, just has happened to be the way I'm coming. Pets are allowed in here. The problem you've got though is swimming is probably not advised due to our friend the crocodiles, and it can get very windy here. Just be aware of that. The wind got quite choppy this morning. I came in here yesterday. It is the weekend I'm coming in here. Last night was Friday night. And that's probably one of the reasons it's quite busy. I guess all the locals would come here for a weekend, just being an hour out from Perth. Great spot. Just pull in here. This will give you an idea what the sort of view you're going to get. This is up on the cliff edge. You can park and camp here, but it's very exposed, as you can see, and particularly today being so windy. But that's where we're heading down to the beach area down there. It's tipped to get to 31 degrees Celsius today. A swim would be really nice, except to our friend the crocodiles. I wish someone would tell them to have a holiday so that I could have one. Swimming. But this is their habitat, their home. We're just visitors, so we have to play by their rules, I guess. Just coming down to the beach, and there are several access points to the beach, like this one. The sand does get reasonably soft as you approach into the beach, but once you're down onto it, it's quite firm. I haven't aired down, probably really no need to in here. This is the north end of Gun Point. I'm just at the moment heading towards the south end, where you can see all those vehicles down there. Look, I'm gathering that's the south end of the beach, and as you can see, the area is quite large. You get hundreds of campers in here, and there probably are hundreds of campers in here. Again, it's the weekend and it's very busy. I'm guessing tomorrow being Sunday, there'll be a mass exodus out of here when all the weekenders leave, and I might get a better spot. don't know if these vehicles on the perimeter, right on the beach, just on the tree line, I don't know if that's illegal. They do say you can't camp on the beach. They're pulled back as far as they can, so that's probably maybe okay. I think I might have been a little bit too conservative. I've pulled right back into the grass area off the beach, about 50 metres off the beach. Probably didn't need to do that. But what I do notice is there's some nice sheltered areas down here. When I say sheltered, behind the tree line, you might get a bit of protection. If you look straight across the ocean there, at that peninsula jutting out, that's roughly where Darwin is. If you had a helicopter, you could probably fly there in 10 minutes. Well, this is the furthest point you can come south. Rather than put a sign up saying no beach driving beyond this point and have everybody ignore it, they've actually put a barrier here. So you can't go any further south than those yellow barriers. But having said that, there's certainly a lot of beach you can drive on. Aha, now there's someone who got stuck. Which shouldn't be too much of a problem getting out of that. Now that's what I call a tent city. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 11 or 12 tents in there. Must be a big family group. And they are on the beach, which is supposedly not allowed. I was talking to one of the other campers here last night who've been here for a week and asked them whether they'd seen any rangers or anybody, and they said, look, no. The beach doesn't seem like it's patrolled that often. I was in fact able to move my campsite this morning, which was really good. Where I was a bit exposed, not the nicest spot, and I moved it further south by about 2 kilometres down into a little alcove between the trees where I can get a bit more shade and protection from the wind. A really nice place to visit here in Darwin is the Stokes Hill Wharf. There's plenty of fresh seafood to be had here, and let's face it, most people love fresh seafood. Also here, some fascinating World War II history. When the Japanese bombed Darwin on the 19th of Feb 1942, there was an attack here by 242 Japanese airplanes, and over 242 people were killed here in Darwin on that day. So a fascinating piece of history. Today I decided to pay a visit to the Palmerston Water Park here in Palmerston City. Palmerston City itself surprised me a little bit. It's quite large, probably why they call it Palmerston City. There are a couple of really nice things about this water park. Firstly, it's a few minutes out of Palmerston CBD. It's very close. Secondly, there's a really large water slide here and different types of water attractions, and thirdly, it's completely free. Yep, Doesn't cost a thing to come in here. Good on you, Palmerston. By the look of it, this little fire here, look, it'll probably burn itself out once it's finished with that bush there. Fortunately, I can't see that fire going any further. I have reported it, by the way. I went onto the fire brigade website, and after 15 minutes gave up. There's probably no way of contacting them that's easy. So I just rang the local police. They didn't answer the phone either. They just a voice message that there's a fire on the southern entrance to Gun Point, heading in an easterly direction. As I say, look, I don't think it's a real threat. I just stick around a little longer just to make sure it didn't go anywhere, and it's pretty well much coming to its end. That's the beach. The beach just down there. So it's where the campers are, so it's very close to them. But I don't think there's any danger here. It would appear they actually do get quite a few bushfires here at Gun Point. But what is really lovely to see is the regrowth. This area has been affected by bushfire, and then you have hundreds of these little palm bushes or palm trees popping up right through the bush. Lovely to see that sort of regeneration. I'm just leaving Gun Point now after a really great week. It's a great free camp. If you don't mind roughing it a little, as I said, there's no amenities there, but really you'd be hard to find a better free camp than that on the beach. There is a tidal creek there that separates north from south, but doesn't get too deep, not even in high tide, sort of ankle, halfway between your ankle and knee deep. Just a tip, in my opinion, the south end of Gun Point is the better spot. There is a sign when you drive in off the main road that points you to Gun Point South or Gun Point North. I went into the north section on day one, but soon discovered that the southern area there's more sheltered areas. As I say, it's just easier to get to. The track's much better. Now I'm headed towards Litchfield National Park, which is about an hour or so south of Darwin. I've just entered the Litchfield National Park, just outside of Bachelor, and thought we'd check out the Zebra Stone. This is a budget camp, Zebra Stone campground, $10 a night, Butte budget camp by the look of it. I'm not staying here, or not planning to at this point, but let's have a look at it. Okay, so no dogs. I'm not sure if this is the camping area here. If it is, it's on dirt. It doesn't appear to be too many people in here, by the way. Let's go down this side and have a look. Okay, there's a gate. Camp guests only, keep clear. A no drone zone. Well, it's open paddock, but for $10 a night, well worth it by the look of it. And it's very close to what's actually at the start of the Litchfield National Park, where I'm headed now. So just a quick look at this one for those who are interested. And they apparently have a zebra stone here. I'm not sure what a zebra stone is. I'll have to look that up. It'll say down here on the sign down the front what that's about. So it's the world's only zebra stone, a 1.2 billion year old natural wonder. Just wonder if that really wouldn't be a bad idea to have a look at that. Because I'm not staying here, and there's a gate. You can't get into the campground anyhow. So there it is, Zebrastone Campground, heading into Litchfield National Park. Here in Litchfield National Park, there are several campgrounds that are clearly marked. This one's at Wangi Falls. We'll just have a quick look at this one. I'll try and get some information for you on the do's and don'ts, etc. here. There's a sign saying there are some camp hosts in here. And the campsite or ground is right next to Wangi Falls here in Litchfield. It's reasonably busy. And there would appear to be quite a few campsites in here. I won't go right around this track. I'm going to go back against the grain because there's a guy blocking the road. I think he's trying to back his caravan in. We'll try over the other side here. Campsites 22 to 33. So there's at least 33 campsites in here. It's quite leafy. You can have campfires here. But being a national park, it's no pets. But there are quite a few vacant campsites. That's the guy who's blocking the track. Just a little further along from Wangi Falls is Kin Hideaway Litchfield. Advertises Litchfield bush sites. They're advertised at $25 here. It's very much a bush camp, but there are toilets here. There is a coffee shop in here as well. there are quite few alternatives for camping in Litchfield. Most of these, of course, you'd have to book. Park fees apply, of course. I got a day pass in here for $8 on concession. I think it's normally 10. I think the Wangi camp is a very good one, being so close, like a couple hundred metres from Wangi Falls, and of course the swimming hole. This one's a little more remote, a little more bushy. We'll just go down the end here and see what we've got. It's quite large. Once you get in here, there's a lot of areas that have shade for trees. And there's a few campers in here. It's a beautiful day here in Litchfield today, actually. It's 34 degrees at the moment. That swim at Wangi Falls was very welcoming. So you're camping on dirt. There's a little bit of grass here, but not a lot. I think there are better campgrounds in here, but this is not too bad for $25 a night. It's budget camping. The coffee shop's over to my left. I can't see anybody in there. I'm guessing it's not open anyhow. Okay, so that's Kin and the Hideaway Litchfield.